this thing started. Hi, my name is Cynic 101. This is just going to be a quick and easy egg roll sauce recipe. First cooking stream, so hopefully it goes well. I don't know. We'll see. First off, ingredients are going to be soy sauce, sriracha, hot yuzu, which is actually kind of tricky to find sometimes, but absolutely delicious if you do find it. Half a shallot, 1 clove of peeled garlic, a tiny bit of, in this case, Spanish olive oil. Use whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever flavor. Different olive oils impart different tastes, and truthfully, as the chef, it's completely up to you. We're going to need a couple measuring spoons. In this case, a teaspoon and a tablespoon, a strainer, a whisk, a bowl, a cutting board, and a knife. In this case, we're doing an Asian sauce. I got a bunch of knives. I thought a cleaver might be fun. You'll need a saucepan too, preferably hot when it's going on. And I don't think you can see it, but I have an air fryer cooking the egg rolls right now. So what we're going to do first is the vegetables. So what you want to do is take your shallot, cut it in half, mince it up as fine as you can. Truthfully, you're going to strain it out afterwards, so it doesn't have to be super fine, but the more you break it down, the more the flavor is going to impart itself into the sauce, so you want to try to do your best. So we'll do that first. I actually thought of this sauce the other day when I ordered from a Vietnamese place here in town, and their sauce is amazing. They use a scallion or a green onion. I didn't happen to have any in my fridge, but shallots are a close second. If you don't know what a shallot is basically if a red onion and garlic had a baby. It's pretty wonderful. So, after you're done chopping that up, make sure your blade's clean. I've been working with knives pretty much all my life. That's what I do to maintain myself. So if you see me do anything that looks scary, just know I've done it a million times before, and I'm comfortable. I'm not going to cut myself. Fingers crossed. Alright, so next, the garlic. This one you can cut into slivers like as thin as you can get. Alright, now that we have those two ready, we'll take our olive oil and just probably, if we had to measure it, it's more by eye or by feel. Maybe your half of the shallot was bigger and you had a large garlic clove. You really don't want to put that much oil, so maybe let's just call it the size of a quarter. And you want to make sure your pan's hot, like right away. So my pan is hot, the stove is hot, it's not super hot. What you want to do with your pan is get it probably just before the point of smoke, which I think maybe a second. Lillian, calm down. Sorry, cat. Alright, so we drop that in and we let it mellow. It's not super hot right now, so that's fine. We'll turn up the heat, get it sizzling. The egg rolls are still cooking. The next thing we're going to do is start combining our sauces. It's easier to do that before you drop everything in the pan. That way you get your measurements right and you really don't have to worry about anything. So, for this recipe, it is going to be 3 tablespoons of soy. Boom. And it's not exact. If you prefer more soy sauce, go ahead and do it. it's a savory recipe, and savory recipes always have a little bit more leeway as opposed to like pastry or anything like that. You can adjust the flavor obviously to whatever you're feeling. So that's our soy sauce. 3 tablespoons. My garlic and shallots are starting to warm up. Next is our sriracha. Again, totally up to you. It's sriracha, so it's already got the garlic. That's why we only use the 1 clove. That otherwise it might be overpowering. But if it does have heat, so if you like that more sriracha heat, maybe, add what you will, but also be super careful because this hot yuzu is intense. It'd be best if you buy it and try it by itself because it'll light your mouth up. It's no joke. So with the hot yuzu, because it's so, spicy, not even spicy, it's more of, think Thai chili. It's one of those. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do half a teaspoon of hot yuzu. Otherwise, it might be too much. And even that, like, I made the recipe earlier today and I'm thinking back, it might be too hot. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so once we got that all together, you just whisk it up. Make sure everything's incorporated. Of course, you're going to do the same thing with the garlic and shallots once you get it in the pan, but it doesn't hurt to be prepared. Mise en place, super important. So, we got the garlic and shallots going. We'll crank this heat just a little bit more. So you don't want to brown the garlic, whatever you do, because if you take it to brown and then you don't pay attention to it for 2 seconds, it'll burn, and that burnt garlic taste will be acrid. It'll taste like, I don't know, like butt, basically. It'll be awful. You don't want to do it. Burnt garlic is one of the worst things in the world. So get it close. Basically all you're doing is sweating the garlic and shallots. And then once you're ready after that, I look pretty good, we'll just add our sauce. So, in an effort to reduce the fact that we are trying not to do a whole bunch of cleanup at the end, we're going to use the same bowl that we originally mixed the sauces in to strain the final concoction into. So that'll be kind of nice. So because of the soy and everything involved in it, you want to drop your heat after you've started searing or sauteing your garlic and shallots. Once you drop your sauce in, it's going to thicken up pretty quick. And be careful, try not to stand too close to it because of the yuzu and the sriracha. If you're, sensitive to peppers, or maybe if you've ever smelled like a hot adobo pepper, like washing it off in the sink, all the pepper smell comes up, hits your face, makes you choke. It's terrible. Alright, so that's as long as you want to do it. Once it starts to get syrupy thick, you're done. Don't take it any further, otherwise you'll end up not liking what comes out. I mean, there's a million ways to say it, but it'll just be terrible. So, what we're going to do, we're going to take that strainer, and we are going to just strain everything into it. So what that's doing is obviously straining, but we're going to press the shallots and garlic through the strainer, try to get out, as much moisture out of them as we can. So, yeah. Once that's through, we should be pretty good. You can, if you do have scallions, you can slice them thin and put it in for garnish. Makes it look really cool, gives it some extra color. You don't have to, but I mean, if If you're feeding yourself, don't worry about it. But if you're trying to impress a friend, yeah, chop a couple fresh scallions and drop them in there. It'll give you a little edge, make you look good. Alright, and what do we got? We got 3 minutes on the egg rolls. So this is our final product. Let me see. There we go. Not too thick, not too thin. Nice. Now we have to taste test it. And obviously you could do this beforehand, but like I did it before I made this video, so yeah, that's nice. Ooh, it's got some kick up. Whoa. Salty. Definitely salty. I guess to mellow it out, you could add some lemon juice, which I don't seem to have. But salty, there's citrus there, there's garlic, there's heat. It's really good. And the egg rolls that I have cooking right now are actually vegetables, so hopefully it'll go well. We'll see what happens. Oh, perfect. Used an air fryer on the egg rolls, which are absolutely gorgeous. That looks pretty good. Just for presentation. I mean, if you're gonna do it, let's see. We'll do this. Nope, can't put it there. Do it over here and I'll hold it up. So obviously you don't have to wear gloves at all, but while you're cooking, but before you serve, if you don't want to have to wash your hands like every 5 minutes because you touched chicken and then you have to cut some vegetables or anything like that, the best way to do it, get gloves. Super cheap and it just saves you time. I use them at work, I use them at home. It's wonderful. Pardon me. Go, looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. And again, if I had a scallion, I'd be even happier. You know what? I may have some parsley. 2 seconds. You don't need parsley, you don't need garnish, but if you're trying, again, for yourself, but if you want to make it look good, so a little sprig of parsley, and you can drizzle, if you like, drizzle the sauce over it. It really depends on your guests, or again, if you're just eating for yourself, completely up to you. But this is our final product. And I'll do a drizzle. It's easier that way. Let's see. Now, this is one of my favorite tools. It's a plating spoon, so looks like this. You can basically do designs with it. So if we walk this over here, and then we take our plating spoon and we kind of just Drizzle it all over. Maybe a little in each, a little right in the middle. You know, maybe a little on the side so people can, you know, dip it in afterwards if they didn't get enough on the portion that they got. And if you don't have a plating spoon, don't worry about it. They're like 12 bucks on Amazon. And truthfully, they're worth it just to play around with. Like, if you got a spare 12 bucks, do it. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, thanks so much. I've been Cynic 101, and I appreciate you stopping by.